Hello, my friends. Jeff, Tax Rescue CPA. Do I need to file a tax extension? Well, it's that time of year. People are scrambling to get their last pieces of tax information together and finalize their returns. And, feeling the pressure, you may be asking yourself, should I file an extension? What does it do? Will it help me? Well, let's jump in and I'm going to answer all those questions for you. First of all, what is an extension? Well, a tax extension is a formal request to the IRS to extend the due date of your tax return. Not the due date of the taxes, we'll get to that, but the due date of the tax return, moving it from April 15th to October 15th. You do this by filing Form 4868, either electronically or mailing it in. All right, so by doing this, what does this do? What does filing a tax extension do? Well, it gives you more time to file. Maybe you're facing a complex situation this year. You're waiting on important documents, or you just want to be sure you get the tax return right in order to avoid potential errors and needing to amend it later. Well, this is a great way to get you more time to get your information together before you file. And the big deal is it reduces the late filing penalties. The IRS charges a failure to file penalty of 5% a month on unpaid taxes when you haven't filed your return. So filing an extension prevents this penalty, at least for 6 months. All right, here's what a tax extension doesn't do. You've got to understand this. This is the biggest mistake or misunderstanding that people have. It does not extend the time to pay the tax return. A tax extension only applies to the filing, not paying what you owe. If you have a tax liability, you still need to pay it by April 15th. So even if you have to estimate, maybe overestimate how much you owe and get that money in, otherwise you're going to be charged a failure to pay penalty, which is 0.5% per month. It maxes out at 25%. And you're also going to have interest on the unpaid taxes at whatever the rate is at the time. It fluctuates. So again, if you're unsure how much you owe, overestimate and get that tax payment in by April 15th to avoid this mess and penalties. And if you ended up overestimating and you do a refund, then you can get the money back later or apply it to next year. No big deal. Now, the other thing that a tax extension doesn't do is it does not increase your risk of an audit. Some taxpayers, I hear this a lot, they worry that filing an extension puts them in a special group where they're more likely to be audited. And really, there's no evidence that we can find that shows that filing an extension or filing your return late increases your risk of an audit or raises a red flag. So take the extra time to file if you need to in order to get the information correct the first time and avoid hassles in the future. Now, on the other side of this coin, when is filing an extension not necessary and a complete waste of time? Well, filing an extension is pointless in some circumstances. This is when you should skip it. Is one, if your return is simple and ready to go, just file it, all right? If you have, W-2s, a few 1099s, and no major deductions, it's just a simple return, filing it and avoid unnecessary delays. Number two, if you expect a refund, all right, if you can tell me 100%, Jeff, I'm getting a refund, there's no doubt about it. Well, the IRS doesn't penalize late filed refund returns. If you remember that penalty we talked about, it's calculated on unpaid taxes. Well, if you don't have any unpaid taxes, then the penalty is calculated on zero. So penalty times 0 equals 0. No penalties. So the 6-month extension for a refund return is pointless. Why are you waiting? If you do a refund, get the money. Couldn't you use it? If not, send it to me. I could use it. All right, so basically, filing an extension when it's not necessary, it just adds another task to your to-do list. Get the returns filed and move on with life. Okay, so again, should you file an extension? This is the important point. This is what I want to answer in this video. You should file an extension If you're waiting on important documents, if you don't have all the information you need, maybe you're waiting on a corrected W-2 or an investment statement from a broker or a K-1. These are forms that sometimes hang up the filing because they take longer to obtain. If you're waiting for those, file an extension. Maybe you need more time to maximize and calculate your deductions and credits. By all means, file an extension. Let's get this return right the first time. If you have a complex situation that requires professional help and you're working with a professional, by all means, file an extension. Or if life has just thrown some challenges your way this year and you're working through those issues and filing your tax return isn't the most important thing, take 10 minutes, go online, file an extension, and maintain what you need to do with your personal life and put the taxes back until later. Just be sure you file them by October 15th and don't miss them completely. So again, how to file. You can do this electronically. You can use tax software. The IRS has a free file program. Go online. Your goal is to submit 4868. You can file by mail. 4868, it's a very small form. It's just a third sheet. It's a small form. Go online, find the PDF, print it out, fill it out, and stuff it in an envelope, get it off. Just make sure you have it postmarked by April 15th. Now, if you need to send a payment and you're doing it electronically, you can always pay online with the IRS, okay? This is kind of a separate process from filing the extension, but do the two-step. File the extension, make the payment. If you're filing the extension by mail, throw the check in there, okay? It'll be posted to your account. If the envelope is postmarked by April 15th, it'll post it to your account by April 15th, and you can avoid a whole slew of penalties. So here's where we're left with this. Filing an extension is a very useful tool in situations I outlined that require it. And it's also a waste of time if it's not necessary. It's just an administrative hassle for everybody, and it doesn't do any good. So knowing your situations and the facts or the expectations of your tax return can help in this to not waste time. Now, do you need help figuring this out? Figuring out how much to pay in, your estimated amount that you may owe, filing the extension, or just making tax season easy? Well, that's what Tax Rescue CPA is here for. Now, like and subscribe for more tax saving tips, and ask yourself, who's doing your taxes?